The Every Point Sports Podcast featuring Greg and Jack starts right now.
Woo! Welcome in on a Monday, everybody. It's the Every Point Sports Podcast. I am Jack Stache from Fantasy Farm Sports, and we've got the Greg, the old gamer, GK with us today. How are we feeling, Greg?
Oh, we're doing great. We're doing great. We just got over week one of the NFL preseason. Guys, I understand it's preseason, but it's football. We get to see some of these rookies play a little bit. We get to see some of these new offenses, new coaches with teams. So yeah, we got a lot to see this weekend. Jack and I have a bunch of opinions about what the heck we've seen this week. So stay tuned. And guys, drop your questions, or even if you have a comment, you don't agree with something we say you guys are stupid. You guys don't know what you're talking about, but drop it in the comments. Let us know.
Before we get started, I would like to thank, I'm up 12 subscribers over the past month. I really appreciate all of you tuning in, hitting that subscribe button. If you have friends and or enemies, right, that you want me to dupe or whatever, send me a side message or whatever. But please keep subscribing to the network. It helps us grow. Subscribe. It helps the channel grow.
Like the videos too.
Yes, subscribe and like.
Please.
It helps us, and it's not a lot of effort. Just a little bit of effort, and you know, use it while you're in the laundromat or whatever. You're in your car, right? Use us as the radio. Yeah, put us on in the background. That'd be great.
You know, greatly appreciate it. Any videos that you guys watch, it really helps us out. With the watch time, it helps us out. Eventually, Jack and I will start being able to monetize our channels at some point. But in order for that, we need you guys' help. We need you guys to watch the videos. Where it benefits us when you guys hit that like button. That helps us with the algorithm, and that helps us get our video out to more people that aren't necessarily subscribed to us. So when they like sports, we'll pop up on their channel if we get a lot of likes on our videos. So that's why we like you guys to like the video, hit that subscribe button. We pound it every week into you guys, so that's why we do it.
Let's see. Tom Brady had "Let's Go." Nike had just.
Oh, by the way, I want to say something about Brady real quick.
We'll get there.
Oh, I want to so bad. Oh, the dig he made at the Jets was awesome.
Brady had "Let's Go." Nike had "Just Do It." Subscribe now. That's us.
All right, real quick. I want to talk about this Brady thing. Brady just got a statue.
Yeah.
Up at Foxborough. Awesome. Mm-hmm. He deserves every bit of it. He's always been very good at talking, very good at communication. But I think this whole Fox gig really helped him a lot with his delivery with stuff, because man, I'll tell you what, his speech was captivating. His delivery with everything, and especially with his jokes. He had the one where he was talking about his statue, and he goes, for all you Jets fans that's out there, this is for you too. When you're driving by, it gives you something to throw your beer cans at.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. Oh, it was great. I was cracking up so bad. I could not wait for the podcast to say that. I knew you would eat that up. So yeah, that's my little thing that I seen this week.
Is there any rumor that there is going to be a bigger statue erected behind him of Eli Manning? I saw a rumor.
I don't know about that.
We
got our first comment here.
Looking down, preseason game or not. Yeah, that was actually really cool. It's the 70-yard field goal. Count and score should count as an official 70-yard score. I actually believe with that. What do you think?
Yeah, preseason you can't.
I know we can't do it, but like
it's an impressive feat. It's awesome. It sucks it wasn't during the regular season. I feel bad for the kicker. But, I mean, if you start doing that, you're opening up a whole can of worms then.
Could we do this? And
no,
I don't know. No, I don't want to do asterisks.
Okay,
I just want to have longest field goal in an NFL game, because it was a sanctioned game, and technically we're inside of the season, although it is preseason.
It's preseason, though.
I
It's
don't know.
not,
No,
it
I know.
doesn't count as a regular season win.
70
If you
yards.
want to
70
start,
yards. Though.
listen, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean,
And by the way,
it will be talked about, but it won't. It shouldn't be a record. No.
by the way, it was good from 73.
And hopefully he can do that during a game.
Good.
I really do.
I mean,
I hope he could do it in a game.
well, I played
Who was it? Who was it, by the way? And what game was it?
Jaguars kicker. I don't know his last name. I don't have the
All right,
information.
so
But
you're telling me where were they? In Jacksonville?
yeah, we weren't at altitude or anything.
So you're telling me you're saying it was good for 73.
Yes.
So if we take this to Denver, it's good for 78.
Yep. I mean, bro, he almost hit it. Just grazed the net at the bottom of it at the end.
Wow.
Little.
The guy's name, I
There we
guess,
go.
is Little.
Yep.
Is that his name? Okay.
Yep.
Guys,
Yeah,
let's keep a lookout for this guy. Jacksonville's kicker, Little. What year is he in? Is he a rookie or?
I don't know. He's a big kick from a little man, though, right?
Well, let's see what we got.
Big kick from a little man. Yeah, look that up, man. 70 yards is 70 yards. And like, I get it. No one respects the kicker. I'll tell you what, if you're a smart journalist, you interview the kicker because everyone lines up for the quarterback, the running back, and the wide receiver. But those guys have opportunities to win the game sometimes. So does the kicker. He doesn't get a lot of line behind him. So you can actually sit in, talk to a player like Little. You don't know. Maybe he's got 70 in his leg. And if he has 70 in his leg, it's a lot of fun to have that first interview. You got somewhere before everybody else did. So go out there and stand in line behind the kicker because he might have a big 70-yarder in him, despite having a little last name.
Okay. This is his second year.
Okay.
He was 27 of 29 last year, 93.1%. Let's see, 20 to 29 yards, 8 for 8, 30 to 39, 6 for 6, 40 to 49, 8 for 9, 50 plus 6 for 5, 5 for 6, and his long was 59. So he didn't have too much of an opportunity, I guess, to kick long because, I mean, he had a very good field goal percentage. He only missed 2 kicks all year.
He's been doing squats with just one leg.
What's that?
He's been doing squats with just one leg. Everybody else does a kettlebell swing forward. He's doing them like this. He's trying to get those hips into everything. I don't know, man. That's 70 yards.
He played for Arkansas.
Okay.
It was
a Razorback, huh?
Yeah. He was pretty good. Let me see here. His longest was 2023. He had a 56-yarder in college. That's freaking far for college.
Listen,
56,
if you got it,
because everybody has to remember, college they don't kick from inside the hash marks like the NFL. They kick from outside the hash marks. So it's a total different angle that these kickers are coming at in college. Like they're having to. I mean, from playing soccer, as opposed to kicking straight on and having to cut something across. It's a total different style of kicking. So anything above 50 in college to me is impressive. As opposed to the pros, 50 to 55, you better make it if you're a professional kicker.
I want to know what kind of. Guess he only played a little.
Too. Yeah, second year. So we'll see what he could do this year, though.
I also would like to know what kind of because look at man, if there's certain kind of air in the ball, right? Like I want to get the PSI checked. We've been through Deflategate once. Are we going to do it with kickers? Right? Because
but I mean, if it was really warm down there, I mean, you are getting a little bit more bounce off that ball than if it was cooler out. Just because how the football decompresses and then compresses and then decompresses. How much it comes off the foot like that. So warmer weather, you are going to get more than that. I don't know the science behind it. I don't know if it's another yard or two. I mean, 70 yards or 70 yards. I don't freaking care where it's at.
That's what I'm saying. I'm calling up the commissioner. I want it in the book somewhere. I do. Because you know what? That is 70 yards. And it didn't bounce off the post and go in, Greg. This thing flew through the post. So, yeah, 70 yards. Great comment. Bringing that up. 70 yards is 70 yards.
Yeah, I'm glad he did because I didn't know about this. I didn't see this on the highlights or anything. So
It was great too
Yeah.
because the coach Liam Cohen, who was the offensive coordinator in Tampa last year, he's the head coach in Jacksonville, and there was like 3 seconds left in the half, and he went, "Hey kid, you got it in your leg? Oh, you all right? You've been telling me the whole time. Go out there then." There was nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You booted 70 yards, 2-1 halftime. It doesn't matter. And I thought it was a tremendous job of time management, and you stole 3 points.
If you
Oh,
were
yeah.
there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at, Nike's got a guy like Slugworth, and Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, just pulling him aside. Hey, Nike, would you like Nike? That's exactly what's going on there. Nike does things like that. That's why they're the worldwide leader in shoes. So yeah, Nike will just have a whole shoe made, and it'll be his right shoe, and it'll just be swooshes everywhere. That way you see tiled swooshes. You're like, oh yeah, that's the guy who wears the swoosh. That was a great kick.
Absolutely. All right.
Let's
Let's talk a little bit about preseason here.
Yeah, I love
Talk about the first game on the docket here. Browns and Panthers. Shador looked great. Panthers, Bryce Young looked really good. He had a couple that pass to McMillan over the shoulder on the outside of the numbers. That might McMillan. We said it when he was drafted. That might be what Bryce Young needed. Was him and was that second-year wide receiver over there?
Leggett.
Pair up those two. I think that's going to be a nice 1-2 punch. I think that's what he needed. You got him, those two. You got a pretty decent running back there. Just need to get a little healthy. So yeah, that might be a quick turnaround over there at the Panthers.
Well, what they did in Carolina was secure draft capital while stealing everything away from Baker Mayfield. That worked fantastically. He looked more like a guy that was playing kill the man with the ball. Tried to get some plays in, couldn't get things accomplished. They moved on to Bryce Young. Great. But we got a problem, guys, because Bryce Young isn't the talent Baker is. And kill the man with the ball is going to be kill our asset with the ball. He's not going to last long. Mm-hmm. They brought in Leggett. Leggett's more of a number 2. He's built like Debo Samuel or Derrick Henry.
And that's who he was compared to coming out. He was compared exactly to Debo. So he's a nice utility guy, but like you said, a very solid a number 2 or even a 1B, but not a number 1.
And that's good because Brooks isn't going to play this year because his knees tore up. So you got another year of Chuba Hubbard and searching. You might get a little bit of Leggett in the backfield. If the Canales can bring that forward, I think you might see some Leggett.
That's really disappointing about Brooks. I mean, him coming out of Texas, very high hopes with him. Really thought this year he was going to be able to showcase something. So I guess he had a setback.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
he did. Okay.
Yep, he had a setback on the same knee. I mean, he's not going. I mean, I don't think he's going to play. He's a young kid, but like we'll see. I just can't.
Second year, yeah.
Maybe we can hope for a Ricky Williams kind of career. Same guy out of Texas. Different injury, marijuana, but not so much a knee.
I mean, if there's any good news with like an example of a player, would be Frank Gore, 3 knee surgeries, Clinton Portis, 2 knee surgeries. Who was the other guy in the Miami backfield play for Washington? McGee. He was another guy with 2 knee surgeries, running back. Something McGee. You know who I'm talking about. He was a stud.
I got you. Ready? Willis McGahee.
That's it. McGahee. That's it. Yes.
McGahee. Boy, I'll tell you what. Willis was nasty though when he got on the field. I loved Willis.
But no, but my point was all 3 of those Miami Hurricane running backs in the NFL did very well, even though they had a lot of knee surgeries in college.
Yeah.
So if there's any like bright light, look at those players, and hopefully Brooks can come back from that.
You hear that, Brooks? Go towards the light. McMillan. We got to talk about Terry and McMillan real quick. My NFL comparison. I know I'm getting way ahead of myself. I understand that, but how he plays the game and how he catches the ball reminds me of Denver Broncos Brandon Marshall.
Mhm.
It does. You know, you didn't know who Brandon was. Don't you lie to me and tell me I knew who Brandon Marshall was as a Bronco before he had that 20 catch game. You didn't know who he was, and the Broncos were just meh. He had that game, it put him on the map. My point is, Brandon Marshall, much like this McMillan guy, boxes people out. He's got wide receiver length and size, 6'4", 6'5", about the same size guy, but he boxes players out. And he's out of Arizona. His quarterback at Arizona was, guess what? 5'8", 5'9", undersized. So Carolina saw him and went, hey, look at how he can help that quarterback that's the same size as ours make the job easier. He showcases himself. He boxes players out. He's going to be a real thing.
He has straight line speed too. He ran a 4.46 40.
Fine.
So he does have more speed than Brandon Marshall, but that is a perfect comparison because he has the same body type as him, same size as him, and he plays physical just like Brandon Marshall did. He's not afraid to mix it up. He'll box you out. He's going to win those 50-50 balls. He did it at Arkansas.
I just hope he has the same mean streak because Brandon Marshall.
That was kind of the knock on him. He kind of disappeared in some games. He didn't make the easy catches. He made those difficult catches. So, you know, hopefully he continues working at his craft and continues to get better. And let's face it, some of those catches could have been because of his quarterback too. You know, I mean, his quarterback get drafted? Probably not.
No.
You know, so I mean, you know, that says a lot. You know, I mean, if you could still, it's like Megatron when he played for Georgia Tech. You know, they played a triple option back then. Like they threw the ball like 10 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and for him to come up with the numbers that he had with a system like that is absolutely amazing. So you kind of want to look at that too. When you're looking at these players coming out of college, look at the system, look at the quarterback and say, whoa, wait a minute. They have a lot of room to grow because they were kind of handcuffed.
Yeah, you're trying to watch the tape and then you're trying to maximize what the player is and go from there, right? You want to have an interview with him, see what he is like, see what he says. If he's a killer, yes, no, and
really quick. I know we need to move on to another game, but I want to Shedeur Sanders. We definitely need to talk about him. He's been the talk pretty much since the draft has started. Dropped down to the 5th round. Played very well. The veterans are talking him up. The veterans like him a lot. He might not be your week 1 starter because of Flacco. I have a strong feeling though around the week 4 or 5, you're going to start seeing him.
I'm just waiting for a call from the NFL scouting departments. That's all, to be quite honest. And it's funny. I'm not joking. It was an embarrassment. You scouted the kid wrong. The tape was all there. Oh, but his whatever. You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think he wasn't a 1st round pick so that it didn't provide leverage for the Sanders family in the 5th year of his contract.
There was multiple reasons why I think he slid. 1, his interview. 2, having to hold Dion in the background as possibly replacing your coach every single year or every single loss that you have. I mean, that's going to wear and tear, you know? So, I mean, just those 2 reasons alone are reason enough to temper a little bit. So it's like, do we want that? Can we handle that as an organization? Are we strong enough internally to handle this? Or do we feel good enough about our coach that we can handle the rumblings from the press saying, Dion, it should be replaced, or they should replace him with Dion, every single week that we lose a game.
Well, you could replace Stefanski with this pair of scissors, and you would get the same result. I mean,
Stefanski did take the Browns to 2 playoff games or 2 playoff appearances,
right?
A Browns team. So right. I mean, let's just say, he did all right. He's not doing too hot right now, but he did do something initially. He did take them to 2 playoff appearances.
I need 3 things from a head coach. I need leadership. I need to maximize talent, and I need him to be able to identify talent. That's what I need, bar none, because he's the guy helping cut down to the rosters, right? Mm-hmm. So if you sat there and really believed and went out on the limb for a guy that hadn't played football in a year and Deshaun Watson, and you banged the drum with Andrew Berry in the boss's office, and years later you have now lost that argument, and you let your first round draft pick walk, I'm very sorry, but there's the door. You walk out the same door you pushed him out of. That's how I feel, right? Because you have to hit all those benchmarks.
Yeah,
The
but
Patriots
to be
have a
honest with you, though, there was probably 8 other teams at NFL that would have been in the same situation as the Browns with the Deshaun Watson thing.
right, because you shouldn't have.
You know,
gotten
because
that first.
everybody, including the Niners, was in on that. I wanted them. I didn't care about the massage shit. I really didn't.
Well,
At the
so-
time, I wanted what I still thought Sweeney said he was going to become the Michael Jordan of the NFL. That's who I thought we were going to get. That's who I thought the Browns were going to get. I didn't know they were going to get somebody that gave up on playing on quarterback, that decided to keep harassing massage therapists. You know, he didn't learn anything from his stop at the Texans like I thought he would have. So there's 8 other teams that dodged a bullet.
I'm still available for scouting and general managing, by the way, because here's a one
I
thing.
blame the Shador Sanders more on the GM than I do the coach.
That's fine.
Because the owner came right out and said, this is the way it goes. It goes me, GM, then the coach. The
No.
GM makes the decision.
That's even better. The owner that didn't want to draft Alvin Kamara because he sits on the board of Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing here? I look at Jerry Jones, not the nicest guy, but he goes, I'll take a swing on talent. Haslam, not the nicest guy, doesn't even know when he has talent.
Yeah.
Because Alvin Kamara's tape, we both agreed, we watched it together, actually.
Mhm.
It was really good at Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So-
the only knock on him was his off-the-field issues. That's it.
Yeah, so,
You know?
but I mean, you owned him in the 4th round. I think that's where he went, the 4th
yeah,
round.
yeah.
So-
No,
so
I
you-
know. Yeah. At
you
that
were the-
point, you know, you're taking a swing at
Right.
that point.
Okay, so
You know?
you would have had, ready? You would have had Nick Chubb and Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Same draft. I'm just saying that would have happened for real.
Yeah.
So I'm just, that
And
guy.
we all know I love Nick Chubb. A Georgia guy, don't like Georgia, but guy was phenomenal in college, and you know what? And NFL, man, I've had him a few years in fantasy, and man, he's just a workhorse.
Yeah, so I mean, with all due respect, here's the truth about Shador Sanders. He has talent. He looked the same as he did at Colorado the other night. Okay. His biggest issue, and I'll say something poorly about him. His biggest issue at Colorado is sometimes he does start slow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sometimes he gets behind the 8 ball, down 14-0, down 17-0. Now, he does make the game interesting at the end, and he looked very sharp off the bat the other night. And I think that's the one caveat is you can't get crushed early in the NFL because, hey, kid, you're talented. The old man was gifted, which is above talented, right?
Yeah, that's Dion was. To put it this way, we still haven't. We've seen great corners, Revis Island, Patrick Surtain, multiple great corners, Asante Samuels, all those guys. Dude, none of them has even come close to a Deion Sanders.
Well, so here's the thing with them, right? So starting gun goes off. Now Deion can start running and still win the race.
Dude, Deion
Right?
used to
Now,
say,
hold that. Shador Sanders, same analogy. Go. Because you can't wait. You're not gifted. You're talented. And you have to go immediately. You need to be prepared immediately. You don't have killer instincts like Josh Allen or an arm like Mahomes or any of these other. You need to be precise. His ceiling is like a mobile Chad Pennington. He can be precise and in that little area, but he's going to need to play perfectly there. And he can. And he's proven. But you can't start slow. And you need to do exactly what you did last night to get real contracts. That's all I want to say about Shador Sanders.
I got 2 things. One, Deion used to say, he goes, people don't throw to my side. So you know what I do? He goes, I bait them. I pretend I'm running too like very slow,
Mhm.
and like they have like 10 yards on me. He goes, any other corner, that's a touchdown. He
Yeah.
goes, 10-yard, they have a 10-yard lead. As soon as I see that ball leave his hands, he goes, I used to just speed right to the receiver and pick it right off. No problem.
Yeah.
Nobody can do that.
No, he's
Not
good.
only did he know where he should be because he was a football genius, he knew the game inside out, and especially on offense because people forget he was also a really good wide receiver on offense for the Cowboys, a little
Mhm.
specialty. But he knew the game inside out. But he had, I mean, you can't even say physical tools because he had beyond physical tools. There hasn't been another guy like him. Like
Yeah.
physically gifted as far as speed and everything, the only guy you could put in his category would probably be a Michael Vick.
I mean,
Twitchy, quick,
think about
rocket arm.
think about if Richard Sherman was fast,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
Sherman had the hands,
Sherman knew the
arms,
game too.
knew the
But Deion
game,
knew the game. Yeah.
not really fast. But
Yeah.
Dion, if Dion would you just told me he would purposely make a mistake
Yeah.
to get the guy.
Yeah. Or purposely trip, he said, at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, but
Our
Shador cannot.
yeah.
Shador
No.
has to be
Okay,
on point.
What I wanna say about Shador, and I'm gonna say a little bit better, things about him than you just did. Two things. One, I was so impressed by his touchdown to, the tight end Davis. Davis, I think, is gonna be one of his favorite targets once he starts starting, that their tight end. He showed a lot in that preseason game. He had a couple really nice passes, but the one that he threw to touchdown, that was his second read in a very short area. I think they were on, like, the 3-yard line or something like that.
Yep.
Anybody that knows football, the closer you get to that end zone, closer you get to that goal line, the quicker the game speeds up. So from him to go from his first read to a second read that quick in his first preseason game, I don't care about vanilla defenses, was impressive to me.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
the throw was fit perfectly.
Yes. Yes.
A Chase Daniel, backup notorious his whole career. He's like, look at you guys might not think that throw, and because it's backups, you go look at that throw. 5 people can make in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And consistently. He's like, so for everybody to sit there and go, well, it's just preseason. He's like, that's a 5-person in the league throw. So if Shador can build upon that, they've made a huge. He goes, to be quite honest, he goes, that throw is a first-round throw. He goes, so everyone has made a mistake right now.
Like I said, the read is what impressed me more than the throw. The read. For me, every quarterback that comes in the NFL can throw the ball to some degree. Can you read the defenses? Are you just one of those guys that throw to your first read and that's it? He is throwing to his second read already. Yeah. So that to me that just shows his advancement. That speaks volumes to his coaches at Colorado, teaching them to progress that fast. And now the other thing, the final thing I want to say about Shador before we move on to our next game is I'm giving him a better comp than a better Pennington than what you just said. Okay. My comp to him, his ceiling is a Drew Brees. Is a perfect comp to me. Drew Brees had enough athleticism to go back there, run around a little bit in the pocket if he needed, slide left and right, but Shador doesn't run. He shifts the pocket like Brees did. Yeah. He's on the shorter side like Brees. Brees, I think, was a little bit shorter than Shador, but similar in stature.
Dak, maybe?
What's that?
Dak Prescott, like in those areas.
Dak was more of an athlete, I think. That when Dak came out, he was able to run the ball. Everybody forgets before that injury, he was a threat to run that ball.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Dak was a little bit more athletic, but I think his ceiling is a Drew Brees. Very good, I think, comparison. So,
that's a great ceiling.
All right. So let's see here. Our next game. Let's see here. We got Chargers, Lions. Quick thoughts on that. I think we talked. No, we didn't talk about that. Oh yeah, we did. We talked about that. Trey Lance looked really good. look like Harbaugh is the quarterback whisperer. I don't think we need to spend too much time on that.
Real quick,
Yes.
Amarian Hampton needs to make more NFL runs and not college runs.
Okay. Yep.
Trust
Agree.
the first one. Don't try to bounce and stick with the first thing because you're physical enough. I get it, but you're gonna want to really stick with your first read. You're fast enough to get out there, and this isn't Florida State that you're playing, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
Okay.
it's preseason.
Next, we got Colts at Ravens. Danny Dimes looked decent. He had a couple nice passes, but I mean, he had a couple nice passes too in with the Giants. So I mean, you kind of already know where you're getting with Daniel Jones. He was 10 of 21, 144 yards. So
Anthony Richardson might be the greatest athlete to never make it in the NFL.
correct. Yeah, he was 2 for 3. He had 21 yards, but didn't do much. Did he do anything rushing? No, he did not. So let's see. Ravens, anybody crazy? I don't see any crazy stats. Keon Mitchell, 9 rushes, 68 yards. That's pretty
he's
nice.
a speedster. He's a legacy guy. He's an athlete, but how
Okay.
long will he last with Derrick Henry there?
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Let's see here. Next game. Let's go to we got where are we at? Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're good.
I had that up here. Oh, Bengals, Eagles. Guys, big thing about this is that a lot of players, a lot of teams started their starters. So Burrow was 9 for 10. He looked preseason form, ridiculous. Chase Brown had 5 rushes, 23 yards. Let's see if he could stay healthy.
That's fair.
Let's see. Jamar Chase, 4 catches, 44 yards.
I think it's a big deal because, the head coach there in Cincinnati recognizes his team starts slow.
Yeah, that was his reason for wanting to start the starters for a series or two.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. At third time, no way. So he gave them a couple times to relax, and now he's like, look we got to go. We can't play catch up all year. And it always feels like we're doing that when I rest you guys early. Sorry, but it's time to play.
Quick update on the Henderson deal. The money is in place. The overall contract is in place. What they're fighting on is the guaranteed money. So they settled on how much like the contract will be for, but there's now it's the guaranteed money, and I heard they're pretty far apart on that. A quick thing with the Eagles, they're the offensive guard Dickerson is hurt. We don't know quite the extent yet. It was a leg injury he went down with, so if he's out for any type of any time, that's huge because they don't have what was his name, Becton, who they moved in guard. And I forget, but what they put a stat out there on Barkley running behind Becton, and it was ridiculous the amount of yards he got from him. So if they don't have that Dickerson in play for a while, that might be something to watch out for.
So here's something, Mekhi Becton, right out of Louisville. Interesting thing about him, they liked him.
He was drafted as a tackle, by the way.
Yeah, and he was able to play 3 positions, and they believed athletic enough to play 4. So if they could find a plug and play, I think Becton can move around that line. They'll be okay.
Becton's no longer there. He signed somewhere else. Yeah, Dickerson is there. Yeah, they let Becton go. I forget exactly where he signed at, though. I can't remember. So, yeah, they thought Dickerson was going to be able to slide in there and play because he did play very well in spot duty. But unfortunately, he went down with a leg injury. And we'll see the extent of that probably in the next couple days. Yeah, actually, probably today. It's Monday. So probably today we'll find out.
Becton's huge.
Again, Eagles look good. There's really not much to talk about that game. Both teams are playoff teams, so.
Yeah, I agree.
Next game to talk about is we're going through these real quick, guys, because we're just trying to touch on each game before we're done here.
There are things that we love in these games, but we're just kind of blowing through them, and we'll get to a few.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Next, we got Raiders Seahawks. Ended up in a tie. Offense. We both thought the Raiders offensive line looked very porous, not very good.
Yeah, I don't love that offensive line. And so here's we are in fantasy farm sports, right? We are in fantasy football season. I love Genty,
Mm-hmm.
but he might be going a little high here.
Yeah.
He
3
might be
rushes, negative -1 yard.
So my benchmark for a fine or meh offensive line is 3 rushes preseason, 3 rushes, 6 yards.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a good line, it's almost like the Chase Brown, 5 rushes, 22 yards. We didn't do much, but we got in there. You sweat a little bit. You got hit around. Good. 3 rushes, negative -1 yards. And the one rush, he had 4 guys on him in a second. And you kind of got to start sitting back and going, look, I don't care how good this kid is. If he can't find any air, we're in trouble here.
Yeah.
And I know that Pete Carroll, prides himself on running the ball, but there's going to become a point in time, especially in that division, with the Broncos, with the Chiefs, the Chargers. Like, if you don't have a steady offensive line, that kid is going to suffer all year.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad. It's not going to be okay. It's not going to be, well, should I start him? It's going to be brutal. These are coaches that come for your heads.
One thing I want to say is, guys, listen, Jack and I, we throw a lot of stuff out there, and we're right about a lot of stuff. We know this game inside and out. And I just want to point out something that another reason why we know the game inside and out, something that we said a long time ago, right when Pete Carroll was hired. Guys, if you guys would, I know you guys probably can't right now, but if you guys would pull up the stats for that game, for the Las Vegas Raiders Seattle Seahawks game, and look at the running backs. All right. The Raiders ran 8 running backs that game. 8. That's crazy. Even for a preseason game, that's crazy. So my point is, Jack and I said right when Pete Carroll was hired, how much he loves to run the ball. He loves to run. He ran 8 running backs there with 3 or more carries.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, Jack and I know the game, guys. Listen to what we're saying. When we're talking about coaches, when we're talking about systems, all right, it might go in one ear and out the other, but believe me, if you're a fantasy player, that knowledge right there would go light years. You're hanging around the water cooler, your buddies are talking. That's a stat you could throw out there, and they're like, wow, he really knows the game.
Yeah, and so I was saying something earlier, and I know it was laughable. But we loved Genty, and we were knocking Bucky Irving. Well, who do you think is going to be in the better offense?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for real, right? It's probably going to be Bucky. And if it's going to be Bucky, then why am I taking Genty in the first round? This isn't Saquon Barkley. He's a nice running back, but it's not like Genty was put behind Emmitt Smith's Dallas line or even Ezekiel Elliott's. Right? It's not like that's happening. This is a reclamation project, and it might take longer than your fantasy team can survive. And if he's your first running back off the board, I tell you what, it doesn't feel great right now. Right?
It's a lot easier to survive a stretch in the beginning where a rookie's trying to feel his way into an NFL. If he's a 5th, 6th round pick, in there, you can kind of hold on to him a little bit. But if you're drafting in the first 4 or 5 rounds, you expect him to be a starter for you.
Yeah.
And a starter like right away, not week 5, not week 6, like right away.
Right. And what could happen here is you could get Bijan Robinson. And what do you mean by that? Well, 3 rushes, 40 yards. 5 rushes, 60 yards. No touchdowns, fine. But you drafted him with such high capital that he didn't return the same way Gibbs did in his rookie year once he got rolling because he was in a good offense. Always draft a good offense over the player.
And even then, it took Gibbs a little while to get going.
It did.
I had him on my bench for a while.
Oh, you did. That's right. Yep.
Yeah. I stuck with him.
Always draft a good off. Well, you stuck with him because he's a guy from Alabama. Let's yeah.
Come on.
I know it's what you did. Always draft, but if you're sitting there in drafts, right, and you're thinking, God, I really want to get this guy. If the offense, like I'm going to tell you right now, I will not draft the Jets player because the Jets offense that you saw the other day is exactly what they're going to look like.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be Justin Fields running all over the place, hoping, praying, wishing, hitting a pass here, hitting a pass there. The truth of the matter is that Justin Fields is probably as accurate with the football, and the mobility could be the same as Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
So think about Tim Tebow running an offense and then go, man, do I want the wide receivers here? Be very careful.
Yeah.
Because Garrett Wilson you might want, but he should be going in the 5th round. Garrett Wilson might put up the same numbers as George Pickens. Right?
Good. Very well good.
And George is a 2 on that team, unless CD Lamb gets knocked over by another official, then he's the 1.
And guys, we will have a draft special. The Every Point Sports Podcast will have a draft special. Jack and I will go over some players we really like. We'll go over what our draft strategy is and what we think you should do in different types of leagues. We'll go with your standard league with one running back, 2 wide receivers. We'll do a 2 running back, 2 wide receivers. We'll go over what our draft strategy would be to kind of give you guys a little bit behind the scenes on what Jack and I think when we draft.
Yeah, and if you
now
want to
Jack and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to give some credentials to what we talk about. Is Jack has ran a league for how long now?
It's 11 years now.
11 years. I mean, Jack and I, between the both of us, wins that league about 80% of the time.
Yeah.
The sleeper league that he just started 2 years ago, I won it. First year, he won it last year.
Yeah.
I played him in the championship game. He beat me.
It happens.
I played him in the championship game in our 11-year league this year. He beat me. I beat him last year, but he beat me this year. So, guys, I just want to give some credentials out there that Jack and I know what we're talking about, one, in football, period, but especially in the fantasy aspects. Like, listen to us. We will get you to win your league.
If you want to win, ride with us. If you want to lose, go to ESPN. You can use ESPN as a tool, but don't set your hat down on everything they say. It's not your home. Fantasy Farm Sports is your home. That's where you rest your hat. Only with us will you get guaranteed great advice. Guaranteed advice. By the way, the advice that we're giving, we're also taking.
Oh, absolutely. We do. Same thing with the betting, guys. When we tell you what we're going to bet, we bet that. When we tell you who we're going to draft, we'll draft that player if they're available. The way we draft, let's talk about the way we draft is the way we draft. So what we say is what we do. Real quick, side note, ESPN, 10% of ESPN is going to NFL. ESPN is buying NFL Network. They are getting NFL Network and Red Zone starting next year, guys. Just real quick. No actual cash has exchanged hands. Just NFL owns 10% of ESPN now.
Yeah, and you know what it's going to be? It's going to be Disney taking over everything.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what's going to happen.
So if you guys want a little bit of money advice real quick, when you take your gambling money and buy Disney stock, how's that sound?
Because they keep buying stuff.
We
thought they were done with Marvel. No, they went and bought Fox. After Fox, now they're doing this.
They got Marvel, Star Wars, Fox, and the NFL. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah.
That's
and
all
their other Disney properties that they had before they bought this stuff.
Just want to say, I think I'm not perfectly sure. Actually, I am. You'd be just fine with Disney stock. I have to. I'm ready to burst. I got to talk about this player.
Who?
Trayvon Henderson.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's skip over. Let's go to the Patriots game. Well, who did they play? Commanders they played.
Yeah. Mike Vrabel has that team ready to roll. Trayvon Henderson, just as impressive, by the way. We had somebody on this earlier mention a 70-yard field goal, right? That's how we kicked everything off today with a kick, 70 yards. Trayvon Henderson, just as impressive. 100-yard punt return.
Yeah.
Rookie running back. Blew through everybody. The tape looked faked. He was running so fast, right?
He also had one rush for 18 yards.
One rush for 18 yards. There was a scout that got it right before the draft and said that he thought that Travion Henderson, I think that's right. Yeah, Travion Henderson believed that that kid was the best pass blocker out of all the running backs that were coming out. It's really important because if you're trying to stay on the field on third down in a Mike Vrabel-led team, you better be able to pass block for your quarterback. And I'm starting to think of the Patriots backfield much like the Bucs backfield. Remember, it was Rachaad White until it was Bucky Irving. And I think the Pats can go from Ramondre Stevenson to Henderson in a minute. I think it's going to be Henderson's backfield by game 3-4, maybe.
Okay. Trayvon Henderson, he also had 3 catches for 12 yards too. So he's able to catch the ball in the backfield.
Yeah. I mean,
I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah. I mean, comp, I'll give you guys a comp because it's fun. Maurice Jones-Drew.
Okay.
I mean, he can wiggle, he can stick you. He's built like a bowling ball, but or Ray Rice. Right, not elevator Ray Rice. Don't do that to me. But running back for the Ravens, right? A guy who could stick you but get through and wiggle. I think this Trayvon Henderson is the real deal. I like him better than our Argenti that we mentioned earlier. I just think that New England's going to have that. They are going to be absolutely dialed in with Vrabel there.
I just hope they just don't go the other route of Belichick and who the hell was their coach last year?
Who knows?
Who the heck?
Mayo.
Mayo. And force feed us Stevenson.
Yeah, they're not going to.
You know, I mean, just relax with them. You already know what you got with them. Like, let's see what else you have, because it just seems like we were force fed him through 2 different coaching regimes, and I hope they don't make the same mistake because they got something. I'm with you. I think they got something special with this guy.
You know, the problem was that they needed Brissett to hold on as long as possible. And I get that that's true, and they needed to give May time. But if they needed Brissett to stay upright, they needed to have the right pass blocker in there. And Ramonde's a big dude, right? So if you're trying
it just wasn't Mayo that had him. I mean, when Belichick was there too, Belichick liked them too.
Yeah. Because what they should do is and he's had a couple seasons, in the league. Let's not pretend like he's a bum. But,
no, and I'm not saying that, but I think this Henderson, I think he's something special.
I compare it, right? But I'm comparing it to the Bucs backfield because Rachaad White still had a nice season last year, and you could showcase him in the open field. He could rumble. He can tire linebackers. You tire the linebackers, then bring the speedy guy in that can hit and shift a little bit better.
No,
there's a use case for Rachaad White. There's a use case for Ramondre Stevenson. I just don't think that they're, I compare both of those guys to like a Najee Harris. They're 3.9 yards and a cloud of dust. They've got no wiggle and they can't pick you up 20. There's nothing wrong with that player. You need a player like that. But I mean, Leonard Fournette, when he was in the league, was both. He'd kill you or wiggle.
Oh, yeah.
So I like
Drake May looked good. He looked good in the limited action that he had. He showed the arm strength that he had. It looked like he's starting to get a little touch on that ball. So let's hope he develops that, keeps developing that. He showed that he's a little bit more athletic than we thought. He had a couple nice rushes there. It looks like he's growing, he's progressing. So I listen, they might end up being the most improved team in the NFL. They don't have much to go from. They're horrible last year,
Yeah, I think they're going to have they're at least going to look like they have their act together.
Yes,
Everywhere Vrabel's been, he's always had his act together. And I think that, Mayo did his best, but didn't have a great plan. Right. Well, this looks good. And you're like, okay, but well, what if this happens? He's like, well, that's week 5. And you're like, yeah, but it happened in week 3 and you weren't prepared for all these things,
I just like how more intense Vrabel is. He reminds me of Campbell, like just intense and an intense coach. Very good at what he's doing, very passionate at it. Oh, yeah, almost like if you look at me wrong, I'm gonna pop you. Like that's the kind of attitude he has. I like it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
So
Next.
I want
Done?
to say this. I have to bring this up because it drives me crazy. Okay, I know we have a couple other games to get to, and then we'll bounce. But I believe the Bears are gaslighting the league.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Bears game.
Let's talk about the Bears game, right? The backup quarterback looked good. Tyler Bagnett. I think the kid's talented. I think the kid could start somewhere. Maybe if I'm wrong, he'll be starting for the Bears. But I think the Bears are gaslighting the league. They're making reporters look silly, reporting that Caleb Williams can't hit the net with a football. Or he missed the net, right? He missed the spots where he needed to be and missed the net at the end of practice. You know how quickly that video got out to the media? Within 20 minutes. And we were just talking about the Patriots and how it was so close to the media forever. I think the Bears are using the media in the opposite fashion, right? They're letting them see and talk about whatever they want. Right. So I haven't seen Caleb Williams complete a pass, and all the reports are out there that he's not reading the offense correctly, and look, he can't even hit the nets. God, doesn't that sound like Jamar Chase can't catch a football in preseason? I mean, it does. It's just way too beyond Caleb Williams can't play football. And I think we're getting to this point where they're like, hey, everybody thinks that we screwed up and that he's bad. Let them think he's even worse. And the media just keeps jumping on this whole Caleb Williams can't play, and he's struggling to hit the nets, and he missed all 3 terribly. I'll be here to tell you there's no way. There's absolutely no way that any of that happened. If you watch the throws from the nets, he was working on arm angles. He wasn't just throwing regular footballs into nets like Dak Prescott. By the way, he was 8 yards, 9 yards away from those nets. And if you look at the arm angles were all different. And big deal, he missed by a couple inches on 4 different arm angles. I think
the last one he missed dramatically, and it wasn't so much the miss; it was so much the body language afterwards is what Ben Johnson was pointing out. Because that's something right when Ben Johnson took over the job. He's like, Caleb needs to work on his body language. And he didn't. And I think this could be something opposite of what you're saying. I think this could be where Caleb has a little too much of a big head still, a little too much of a diva still in him, that they're throwing this stuff out there. So it kind of brings them back down to earth. Listen, you're not all that. Like, you're missing these throws. Look at your body language. Like, look at what you're doing and try to improve on it. Don't sit there and think that you're doing all this and you're doing a great job, because you're not.
Well, I saw that already happen. Like, that happened last year, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, but not with Ben Johnson.
I get that.
Not with their coach. Not with their current coach.
But you can any coach on the planet, right? I watched them play the Texans last year, and let's not pretend like Will Anderson isn't a freak of nature, because the whole league voted and said he was. Right? But he didn't know how to get him to stop pursuing him. Right? So Caleb Williams sat on the sideline, and he's just sitting there, and you could see him looking around, and he's like, you could see the look in his eyes. He had no idea how to stop that Houston Texans defense from not being all over him. He didn't have a suggestion for the coach. He didn't have a suggestion for a wide receiver, a running back. And it was in that moment, he almost he put his head halfway down, not all the way down, but he was lost. And that was the humbling moment. When that happened, he did get better from that moment on against the Packers later on the season and all these other teams. He started studying. I think the humbling has happened. And now I just think they're making a whole narrative for the press to jump all over them. And when the Bears play the Vikings on Monday night, I think that's their first matchup.
Yeah, that's their first game. Yep.
Right. Like, I think that everyone's going to think that McCarthy's going to outplay Caleb Williams. I saw some things from McCarthy the other day, and I like McCarthy, but I saw some things from the other day that reminded me of Michigan. One of his biggest problems at Michigan is he would lead the receiver just a little too much. And I think that if you haven't played in a while, which he hasn't, your timing could be off just a little bit. And McCarthy,
I thought he looked very good. I thought he looked very good. I think he did a very, very, very good job. He showed at times that he had a arm, but I was more impressed with his touch.
McCarthy's a player that needs to play. He
Mhm.
needs to he needs to play. He needs to be out there. He needs to be playing, which is fine because he loves to and he loves to practice all that other stuff. He'll be fine. But I just think we're walking into this buzzsaw and everybody's going, well, bust. And I'm like,
And
just watch the video slower and watch.
I don't want to gloss over this Bears thing, but also it looked like McCarthy has a nice camaraderie with Addison already. Nice, like they look like they were on the same page. They look really good together.
Yeah, he likes Addison, and I mean, obviously, it's going to come easy with Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, Jefferson's going to catch the ball. You just throw it in his general vicinity; he's going to catch it. But it was nice to see that second wide receiver, Addison. He's going to catch a lot of balls when he comes back from suspension.
Yeah, he's a good kid. But yeah, that's the one thing I thought because everybody sat there all week and they waited all week long. That's all you see all week long, and I'm just like, wow, everybody covered that. And I wonder if they're sitting back at Bears camp laughing. Just like,
yeah, I mean, listen,
they spoon-fed that to you.
That very well could be. I mean, that could be a reason why they didn't start him this game.
I don't have a silver platter in the office, but if I did,
I'm still under the point is that I don't think he's going to end up being an NFL quarterback. I just don't.
To me,
he's
it was
going to be a backup.
It felt a little bit remember like Rocky 3. Rocky's done. Oh, he can't fight anymore. He can't do anything else anymore, right? And all of it. But the thing that was very important is that he came out the second time against Mr. T. And you go, oh, all right, he's going to be slow and just bang, 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 bang. And I think when the Bears come out on Monday night against Minnesota, right, you're going to see a team that gets out there. And you're going to be looking for this Caleb Williams that can't hit a net and this guy that can't do that. And all of a sudden, pop, 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 pop out of Ben Johnson-led offense. And all of a sudden, you're like, hey, where's the guy from the videos? We didn't see this coming. And I'm going to date back to this video, this live, and go, I saw it again. Shedeur Sanders, Caleb Williams, everything.
Yeah, I don't. Shedeur, I'm with you. Caleb, I'm not. I don't think he's going to end up being a good NFL quarterback. I think he's going to end up being a career backup when it's all said and done. Wasn't sold on him as the number one pick coming out. I gave you guys my reasons, and everything I'm hearing in the last 2 years has just backed me up. So I haven't heard anything good. I haven't seen anything good. So, prove me wrong.
Yeah, that's why I said I think it just feels like it's gonna be the complete opposite. They're letting everybody eat this up, and it's just like I think Ben Johnson is much more smart than his old boss's strength. Right? Like I think Campbell's a really strong guy. I think Ben Johnson's smarter than his strength. And I think
Ben Johnson's a smart guy. We'll see what he can do. We've seen a lot of great offensive coordinators take over head coaching jobs and fail horribly. They're good offense coordinators or good defensive coordinators. They just can't coach.
Oh, I believe I'm with you, but
so we will see.
If this is a gaslight and a smokescreen, this isn't an offensive coordinator's move. This is a head coach move. Like this is a head coach allowing the media to run with a narrative that his guy can't play and all this other stuff while he's got his arm around him the whole time. And I think that an offensive coordinator wouldn't have been smart enough to do that. Like if Aaron,
not only that, I don't think he would have the reins to do it. I don't think the head coach would say. Be like, no, dude, you can't do that. You can't come out and say how bad our quarterback is.
But I think that in the opposite fashion, right? Like Aaron Glenn's not doing this in New York. Justin Fields is a finished project. And he can't get away with coming out and just rapid firing. He's going to have to play to Justin Fields' strengths, whatever they are.
Yeah, and they are running the ball. They're going to be running the read option 90% of the time over there.
And Caleb Williams' strengths are still a little cloudy, aren't they? It's a little cloudy. We can't.
His strengths are what they were coming out. He can extend the play for a while, but in the NFL, you don't get that as long as you do in college.
Yeah. When he came out, I compared him to my comp was Johnny Manziel with a better arm. That's a fair comp.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And by the way, people go, you didn't think Johnny could play? I'll review the tapes for you.
Dude, trust me. All right. I had heartbreaking moments because of him and frickin' Mike Evans. All right. Heartbreaking. Number one, going into Texas A&M, Alabama going in. We're 10, 17-point favorites. They come out and they beat us.
By the way,
ruined our season.
Johnny Manziel threw for 367, 3 touchdowns and a pick in an NFL game. And Kyle Shanahan goes, go out there and run what you know how to run. Anyway, and he goes, no, you know how to run it. Go run it. So let's not pretend like Johnny didn't have it. He did have it. So let's see if Caleb Williams is only 6 foot. He can move around, right? And he has a much better arm than Johnny. Johnny was good. It wasn't a great arm. It wasn't ever a great arm.
And the thing about Johnny wasn't a system guy. Johnny was a backyard football guy. He'll come straight out and tell you. He goes, I wasn't good at practice. I was hungover all the time, he said. All the time I was hungover. He goes, during the games, I didn't wake up until halftime.
So let's hope that Caleb Williams can combine the backyard with the system.
That was my big thing is, could he play in a system? We already know the off-script plays, what he could do. He did it at USC. We seen what he could do at the off-script plays. It was playing within the system we didn't see. The everyday play, the every down play. That's where I have an issue with, and that's where I don't think he's going to be good. But anyways, we spent way too much time on this Bears team.
We think.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got Giants Bills.
Not much to be seen. The Giants.
Dart looked good. He had some nice throws.
He threw a touchdown.
Yeah, had some nice throws. There was a couple times where he was rushed. Typical rookie, getting happy feet in the pocket. Rushed some throws on that one pick, or should have been a pick, actually. He threw to the outside, a bullet. If he just would have relaxed a little bit, that route would have opened. I watched Dan Orlovsky break down that play on ESPN, and he showed if he just would have slowed the play down a little bit, it would have been there. But that's a rookie. It's a rookie. But again, that's something we've seen him do in college in Lane Kiffin's system. So let's see if he can grow out of that, which he's a young guy. He could.
And not for nothing here, but we'll bring it up real quick because they passed on him. Shedeur Sanders had 2 people at his feet in the end zone and threw a 20-yard strike. So I'm only saying it because the Giants passed on him, and they could have
passed on him. But listen, if Dart comes out to be a good quarterback, they made the move. They made the right move.
I get it, but
they got their guy. They got the guy they wanted. So
right now, I would say Sanders is just a touch ahead of him. Just because of that, Shedeur doesn't care who's at his legs. He's got his dad's torso.
I mean, the good thing about both of those players is they both played in a pro-style offense.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin runs a pro-style offense. That's why the NFL loves drafting his players, and so does Colorado runs a pro. And that's one of the reasons why Dion will always run a pro-style offense is because he believes if you run a pro-style offense in college, your players are more ready for the next level.
Yeah.
So, all right, next. We don't have to say anything about the Bills. The Bills are who they are. They're going to be a playoff team, a Super Bowl contender. So next, we got the we talked about the Patriots Vikings already. Packers Colts. Wait, no, that's later. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's next week.
That's all right.
We got Cowboys Rams. Not much to say about that. I mean, I'm trying to
Like
pull up
Parsons
the
still in
stats
that
here
camp.
real quick.
Jerry Jones still wants to insult him at conferences in Cowboy Stadium. You know,
Yeah,
no, he did it
this
again.
whole Parsons thing isn't gonna blow over well. He's gonna have a tight back until either A, he's traded, or B, he gets a contract.
He's not gonna show up. I'm just
Yeah.
and Jerry's starting to know it, which is why Jerry's starting to do a smear campaign. But they asked Jerry the other day, they said, "Hey, you know, was it nice to see that Micah was here holding in instead of, you know, because you believe that this is part of the contract negotiations?" And he said, "Well, there's 200 players here, so you know, it's really nice that all the 200 players are here. Didn't really notice Micah, but I'm glad you guys did. So I'm hoping that he gave you some of his time." And you know, glad that all the Cowboys are here, because that's really what's most important. All the Cowboys are here. And I just went, you know what, man, I'd walk over and strangle you.
Yeah.
I would. I would.
yeah,
With
no,
my
I get it,
lawyer and my representative there, I would go over there and strangle you, or I'd make sure that I had to tackle a guy really close to you and you broke both your legs. Because that's what you are. You think, right? You're the guy in I mentioned earlier, you're the guy in Rocky 5 going, hit me and I'll sue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's exactly who Jerry is. Yes. To
Okay.
a T. To a T, that's who he is.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. If I hit you so hard that you don't have the ability to sue, then what?
Well, Parsons doesn't have a contract, so sue for what? Like Rocky's
right.
just said, sue me
That's
for what?
Sue me for what?
Yeah.
Sue me for what?
You
See,
know?
like because you know, all of us out there, every single last one, every point, right, matters, right? Fantasy Farm, friends, right? Everybody that follows us. There's no way you like being treated like this at your job. Whatever it is you do for a living, you know, a truck driver, waiting tables, bars, whatever it is you do not like to be talked down to and like you're a piece of furniture.
And if you're the best performing person at your job, in your company, let's just not even say at your job, in your company, let's say your company's United States wide. You have 32 different stores, just like the NFL, 32 teams. You have 32 stores. You're the best person at all those 32 stores. You want to be compensated like it, and two, talked good about. You want to be talked down to, talked like you're a piece of crap.
Yeah,
like you're a nobody. You're
Jerry,
the best person. If not the best, you're the second best person at your job.
I'm not your seventh wife. Okay.
You know,
you can't just pay for my lip injections and give me a kiss. All right.
Yeah.
I'm done with it. Right. And Micah Parsons should be done with it as well. I hope he somehow lands in Pittsburgh, because I think that would be a fun spot for him to go. I know Pittsburgh would have to leverage somebody to get him there.
Yeah. And especially with the amount of money they just paid Watt too. Like that would be tough. I mean, could they do it? I mean, anything's possible, but yeah, I mean, I just want to see him out. I really do. I want to see him out of there. A big thing. You know what would be crazy?
Huh?
If he would go to the Rams, somehow come over to the Rams. Did you hear what Aaron Donald said?
Oh, I did.
He said if Parsons somehow ends up with the Rams, he'll come out of retirement and play for the Rams again.
That would be cool.
Could you freaking imagine that?
Yeah, having Donald,
and they still have the other guys versus the other guy.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I would like to see that. That would be fun. I'd like to see him in Kansas City, you know, because that would give them a defensive.
I'm just saying, like the whole, like how Aaron Donald said, if you could bring back the defensive MVP, reigning defensive MVP when he left the game, you know, like
that'd be fun.
Wow.
Anywhere
real
but
quick,
Dallas.
Real quick, I want to touch on something on this game here about a player. I think it was 2 years ago, Dallas made a silent trade for a quarterback, Joe Milton III. He played for Tennessee. No?
Oh, yes, in college.
Yes, college, yeah. I know him not personally, but he played against my Bama a couple times and had some very, very good games against us. I don't even want to say very good, extremely good games against us. Like ridiculous. The only reason why they won was because of this quarterback. He's silently playing very, very well the last 2 years in the preseason for Dallas Cowboys. Just this past week, he was 17 of 29, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 143 yards. That's with no number 1 or number 2 wide receivers on the field for him. That's a bunch of wide receivers that aren't even going to make the team on the field for him, and he's still playing this well. He also rushed the ball 5 times for 22 yards. Silently sneaky athletic, but the guy has a cannon for an arm too. Cannon for an arm. So guys, listen, I'm not saying eventually he's going to be your starter. When Dak retires, this might be a guy that's waiting in your wings that's going to take over. He might end up being your starter in 3-4 years. So just keep an eye out for him. Each preseason, keep an eye out what he's doing. Stuff like that. Just saying, I like the guy. I like the guy in college. I liked him coming out. So the only knock on him, he wasn't polished. He didn't have touch on the ball. He had a fastball, and that was it.
I think he could play. One last note from me before we get out of here. Cam Ward played terrible. You got anything else?
Okay. I want to touch on the Niners game real quick. I mean, we can't talk football without me talking about my Niners here.
That's fine.
We got crushed, by the way, by the Broncos, 30-9. But when we didn't start any starters. No starters played. We started all second string players. When our second string players were in, we were up 9-0. When our third, fourth, and then people that aren't going to make the team went in, that's when we started giving up big plays and just sucking. I'm not
drivers versus their UPS drivers.
Yeah, that's what it was. They had better UPS drivers than we did. That's what it was. You know, better grocery store stockers than what we did.
Bouncers at the bar.
What was the other one? Insurance salesman. Better insurance salesman than we did. Yeah, it's crazy some of these jobs that these players will get when they're not with an NFL team, just so they could stay in shape to hopefully get a job later on in the season. It's really interesting, guys. You guys really should look at some of the jobs these guys have: insurance salesmen, real estate agents, grocery store, literally grocery store stockers, stuff like that. Just so they can work third shift and do the stuff they need to do during the day. But nothing really to touch too much on. One thing that scares me a lot is we don't have anybody in the backfield. We really don't. Last year we had 2 guys that I really liked, Jordan Mason and Mitchell. Mitchell's no longer with us. Mason is over with the Vikings now, who looked good over at the Vikings this past week too. We have a bunch of guys that Jeff Wilson Jr. we just re-signed. Maybe he can do something to help us out, but without McCaffrey, I'm not looking. We don't have a true backup right now. We really don't. I'm hoping he can maybe find somebody that's cut somewhere. But yeah, I usually I'm very happy with that. You'll hear me talk about at least 2 backs in the preseason that the Niners have that performs outstanding. Can't say that this year, guys. Can't say that this year, which is kind of scary.
That's tough.
Yeah. I guess that's about it then, guys. We'll be back on Sunday.
Yes.
Noonish, we'll be back. I go back to work Monday, so and then
subscribe, guys. Subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Like the videos, guys, subscribe.
And listen out. We'll let you know when our fantasy special will be. Keep an ear out. Stay on YouTube for me. I am going to be playing some Call of Duty. I got 2 nurse interviews today for little stinkers for school. So I'm going to be hanging out the house, playing some Call of Duty and doing some dad stuff.
All right. Enjoy.
All right. Other than that, guys, as always, stay excellent. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Jack, as always, it's a great time, man.
We're into NFL season.